Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and I'm working on a thing. I was recently given a Hera. I've been meaning to buy one for a while now because I absolutely love the pistol mod version of it, and I've been meaning to do one, but it just never made it quite to the top of the list. And then I ended up doing a birthday party mod event with one of the kids from the Christmas mod event, and to show their appreciation, they got me a Hera. So I'm going to do that. I've already made the first cut. I cut it in the back of the blaster, right where that line is, which is a very convenient place because it creates a little cavity that will, in fact, hold a 2S lipo quite nicely, or a 3S lipo quite nicely, as long as it's one of the, you know, mid-sized ones. This has been done several times before. I know Walcom has done it, but someone else beat him to it. I can't remember their name. But I absolutely love both of their designs. They did the back end slightly differently, and I think I'm going to do it slightly differently than either of them did it. We will see. I'm probably actually going to cut this off right here and just put it on like a cap. And either screw in or glue it, probably a little bit of both, and then figure out how to make that battery door up here removable. And yeah, that ought to pretty much be it. The rewire on this is ridiculously simple because it is basically it's a rival Strife. So you just have the one switch on the rev trigger. And the size switch that they used, I do have the same one that Walcom uses, which is a lesser one. It is still upgraded. It's the ones that Out of Dart sells on his website, so I know that they can take the voltage that I'm going to be putting through it because I'm only running a 3S. I haven't upgraded the motors, so I'm not worried about them drawing too much current. So that should be really, really simple. And quite honestly, the reason this all happened is, one, I saw the Walcoms and absolutely loved it, and two, I happen to have a pouch that I believe will fit it perfectly as a holster. So this is going to become my primary sidearm for my rival loadout, for the minigun loadout, is the goal. That and a Chronos. So yeah, I'll have an all-rival loadout, which should be an awful lot of fun. So I will continue working on this. There isn't a whole lot left to do, quite honestly. Enjoy! Let's do this thing. It is done! And I absolutely love how it came out. Paint job is beautiful. The orange actually stuck, which it usually doesn't like. I got a new orange, and it's a very different shade than that. It's similar to the second tone that you see in a lot of, like, the Demolisher and those ones that have a different orange, and I like that. I couldn't get it to do the 2-shot at once. I'm going to have to ask Wallcom what the secret was on that, because mine's only firing 1 at a time. It sounds like it should do 2, but it doesn't, so I must have something. It really looks like it should, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong about that. I'll ask him. But I got it running on 3S LiPo that is back here in its own little battery door, which is secure enough for me. And it fires quite beautifully. See? Shit's great. I will probably run just a 7-round in it, because this is going to be my sidearm with my rival loadout. Where'd the holster go? Oh, there. So I found this at Goodwill a long time ago and just decided to go ahead and grab it. And then when Wallcom did his minimized version, I discovered that it has one slight issue. It fits perfectly in here. So that is a magnificent holster, and that this will in fact hold a magazine.
Oh, cool.
So that's just awesome. Though it really only would work if you were have it on your right leg, which is where I plan to, because it'll be my sidearm. So the one downside is it actually needs a rev trigger guard, because the way it fits in here when it's just in there normally, it gets revved unless you put the safety on, which works, but that of course slows you down if you have to draw it and use it in a hurry. So I may in fact just fabricate a trigger guard for the rev trigger, because I just need to bend a piece of metal, go to right there, put some screws in, and be done. I also discovered I can rev while the safety is on and fire because of some modifications on the inside, so technically that would work, but yeah. I am very pleased. Stab it! I'm very pleased with how it came out. So this will get fielded at Fort Flagler as part of the minigun loadout. I will also be modifying, I got one of the white Chronoses that I will be painting up in my colors, because I cannot imagine what you guys would do if I painted a Deadpool one orange. The curator would probably kill me in my sleep. Alright, here is the firing demonstration of my modified pistol Hera. It's running on 3S, but just has stock motors, so let's see what kind of an FPS this thing's get. So anywhere from 96 up to 132, I think was the max. Probably depending on ammo. This is random ammo, so I've got the hard stuff, the soft stuff, so it varies. You also might have noticed a couple went straight through the net. That is because there are holes in my net, the reason for which will be revealed soon. This is what happens when headshot ammo gets left in the rain. It soaks up water and swells. Luckily, if you wring it out, it will return to its normal shape. Alright, now for range and grouping, also double fire. This thing has been, I believe, modified, hypothetically, to be able to fire 2 in one trigger pull, but I'm not getting consistent double shots with that, and I'm not sure if that's just a matter of trigger technique or if there's additional modification I need to do. I'll need to probably pick Wallcom's brain about that, because I know he got his working, so let's give this thing a test. Interesting. Lots of hop-up, which is fascinating. So in that first one I was going for the double fire, and I got it to work on the first 2, and the ranges are coming in around 90 to 100 feet, so that's lovely. Obviously the speed and the accuracy really drops towards, you know, after about 60 feet, but still, you've got the range. Now I'm just going to try to dump the magazine. Interesting. I think the inconsistent ammo is possibly giving me grief, or this magazine might need a slightly heavier spring. We shall see. Well, there you have it. The performance is everything that I was hoping. Like I said, the variance was between, the low end was at 96, which I imagine was with one of the really soft balls, which don't get a lot of catch. And then I got 132, which was probably one of the really hard balls, which once again, you know, has the opposite effect of actually getting grip and firing. I could have those completely backwards and it might be the other way around. No idea. But everything still fires through it just fine. Like I said, the motors are stock, but all the wiring has been replaced. And I really like how it came out, both the size, the design, the shape, the fact that it fits in my holster, and will give me a sidearm to go great with tier. I may do a little bit of silver detailing, but in general the silver doesn't really go well on an orange base, so I may just leave it. I did go ahead and did the research on the being able to fire 2 at a time, and I have done it exactly the way it needs to be done. So I don't know if it's just that I've got kind of a worn out magazine, or if I maybe need to try upgrading the spring in the magazine. No, well, K26 will fit, but obviously it then won't compress anything at all. I get asked that a lot. But, like I said, I was able to get 2 shots out of it when I fired it. The first 4 rounds would work, and then after that it didn't work out so smoothly. So, yeah. I'm very, very pleased with it. I decided to go with semi-auto rather than out of Darts' design, which was he put a pusher just like I have in tier, which makes it full auto, though apparently that is removable. You can take that motor back out and return it to its semi-automatic function, so I may look into that. But for now, I wanted a semi-automatic sidearm to go along with tier, so I got the full auto from tier and then the sidearm, and then I am making a Chronos that will probably be revealed tomorrow. That will be the tertiary, the final last blaster when everything else is out. So I will need to look into getting more magazines. One thing I have not reviewed from any of Lightake, Banggood, or NF Strike are any of their rival magazines, so I will put that on the list of things to have them send me next, because I think I have just this one. I might have another one. I used at least 2 of them in building my Chronos shotgun. I used my other 12, and then I think I had to use one of the 7s to get the spring out of it, so I might have another 7, maybe, but I definitely need more magazines, so I'll check out NF Strike, those guys, and see if they're willing to send me some rival magazines that I can then review and let you guys take a look at those. So, let me know what you think of this build. I really like how it came out. I like how clean the back end ended up looking and how simple that was. I may still try to come up with a better way of securing this back door, but I haven't had any problems with it coming off. It just doesn't quite sit perfectly, so paint job came out lovely. Love that orange. Finally found a good orange. It took me a while to find one that I really liked, but I really like this particular shade of orange. I like how much different it is from the standard Nerf orange. It's a little bit darker than the Demolisher's secondary coat, and I like that. It's a little more kind of a burnt orange. Definitely love this coat, and it goes on very smoothly, so that is awesome. I will be using it in the future for pretty much all of my builds because I want to get less black and more orange. For obvious safety reasons and for, you know, just because I really like the gear up look. So I'm probably going to be doing my own kind of gear up style. I also may do a reverse gear up, which will be black with orange stripes instead of orange with black stripes to denote, you know, the X-Strike line, kind of, which will be at least a lot more orange than I'm currently having in most of my stuff. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, complaints, go ahead and put them in the comment section below. And as always, thank you for watching.